So I was just in the waiting room. They were playing "Toxic" by Britney Spears. That song is so good.
It's so good.
So good. Every time
I'm
I
so
hear it.
sorry that like this began, so you couldn't listen to the whole song.
No, the song just finished. It was
Oh, great.
perfect.
Oh,
Perfect
perfect.
timing.
Perfect.
Talking of timing, I should probably get started because I haven't got too long. But the film is tonally a triumph. I mean, it's funny when it needs to be funny. It's kind of scary when it needs to be scary. It's satirical. It's human. What assured you when you signed on that this would work as a film? Because it's one of those stories that can go wrong if not told right.
Totally. A couple of things. I had an incredible experience with Blumhouse the first time I worked with them. I made Get Out with them. It's my first movie. It was like the most, from start to finish, like unbelievably wonderful experience. So when I heard from Jason Blum, I was already kind of predisposed to like and want to do whatever it was he was sending me. But the script was the one that I just couldn't put it down. I was like sweating with nerves by the time I reached the end, what was gonna happen. That's always a good sign. Akilah writes a mean script. She's so talented. Then after speaking to Gerard, he has that Kiwi sensibility, and I just thought his sense of humor, his tone is just gonna be perfectly paired with the subject matter. He's a dad, he's got 2 young boys. He lives in this world of wondering about the ethics and the intersection between kids and technology. And I just thought that we might have a chance, if we make her as iconic as humanly possible, we may have a chance to make something really loud and fun for the new year. And I think we've done it. I hope so.
I didn't know he was Kiwi till I just interviewed him. The second he started talking, I went, "Oh, that's why it worked then."
Exactly, because it is like, it's just such an off-kilter sense of humor. It's so dark, it's so subtle, it's so sardonic. It's perfect. It's a perfect pairing, I think.
So when you play in genre movies like this, like Get Out, is your approach always the same as if it were a gritty drama? Do you always seek to find the kind of truth and humanity of the role, and the rest of the kind of world, be it real or supernatural, is kind of in the hands of other people?
Yes, it's always the same. You just try to make the person as real as possible. You try to make them relatable. The one way it's different is like I now know enough about the genre to know why I got certain direction I did on Get Out, and I just understand it now. Like, if you're in a scene where you're being pursued, choked, have to be out of breath, panicked, whatever, crank it up to like a 10, because it will read on screen in the genre, it'll read as like a 5. So if you're like screaming, panicked, flailing about, it'll feel like you're kind of keeping it cool. There's something where you have to adjust your performance size to fit the genre. That's the only thing I can think of that changes. The rest of it, whether it's a funny moment, serious moment, whatever, you just have to play the reality of it and the truth of it. Especially with Gemma, it doesn't seem this way, but it's actually a very difficult part to play, because you have to ride this line between feeling like we root for her professionally, but we're rooting against her personally, which is very hard. And then at a certain point in the movie, we want the audience to flip that 180 degrees and be like, actually, I want her to fail professionally, and I'm desperate for her to figure this out, like parentally. And so it was hard to get that right. I hope we've done it. We'll let everyone out there decide whether or not we were successful, but
you absolutely did. But I was wondering, because I mean, there's I remember when I was that sort of age, as the sort of, and had sort of toys, and sort of there'd be some that I was sort of attached to that I'd take with me everywhere. It could be, I think I had a cuddly Pinocchio toy. I had a little Tigger from Winnie the Pooh toy. Do you remember what your sort of equivalent to M3gan was as a kid? The toy that you take with you on holidays and every trip you could go on.
Good question. Mine were not like doll. I had cuddly things. I had Blanky, and then I had Baby Dog Bear and Big Dog Bear, and who was known as just Dog Bear until Baby Dog Bear came along. Now, those are not their names. I think one is a rabbit and one is blatantly a teddy bear. For some reason, my catalog was just, I was like, oh, you are a dog bear, and then this is a smaller dog bear, and that's what they became known as. But I brought those around, and they're still in the picture. They're still around.
Is Blanky still around?
Blanky's still around. Blanky's got some nail polish and a lot of patches on it, but still fighting the good fight. There's nail polish from when I was just, I don't know, in middle school doing my nails in my bed or something.
Well, on that note, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Best of luck with the release of the movie.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!